Hey friends, what's up? Phillip here with Points of Phillip. And well, I'm here because, well, a lot of us can breathe a collective sigh of relief over some really beneficial news that's actually a reversal of some prior news. So let's get into it. I'm gonna go ahead and open up my extra wallet. Before we do that, I wanna ask you guys to like and subscribe. Doing that helps me and YouTube know that, well, what I'm doing is helpful for people like you. That allows other people to view the content as well, something I would really appreciate. So thanks so much for doing that. And if you already are a subscriber of the channel, I just want to say thank you so much for your support. Well, it really means a lot. So now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and get into my Extra Wallet Pro, and let's talk about what I'm going to be talking about today. And that's going to be the Ritz-Carlton card, and well, the fact that Chase essentially just saved it again. So let's get into the Ritz-Carlton card. In order to kind of figure out what's going to happen, we're going to talk about, first of all, what the Ritz-Carlton is, what the news was, and now what the new news is. So top line, the Ritz-Carlton credit card is staying the same for now. So the Ritz-Carlton here is $450 for an annual fee. That comes with a $300 airline incidental fee credit. Now, the way that you have to apply it, though, means that it can be a little bit more open than that. So you actually have to call into the private JP Morgan line that's on the back of this card. And when you do that, you just say, I would like to have this purchase applied, or this travel credit applied to this purchase. And even if it doesn't necessarily qualify for airline incidentals, it's possible that they could make an adjustment and kind of still allow that purchase to count. And so, kind of your mileage may vary on that one. But, if you're dealing with a rep and they're saying, no, it doesn't work, then, just hang up and call again. So, all right. So basically what we're going to do is now we're going to talk about the 85,000 point free night award. And so this one here is top uppable by another 15,000. So you can actually redeem this for a 100,000 point room through Marriott. And there are a lot of different options at Ritz-Carlton's across the globe, St. Regis across the globe. You really do have a lot of options with that particular redemption. So that's really solid as well. But then you also get access to essentially unlimited lounge access. And so for this one here, this is a Chase branded co-branded card with Marriott. And so you get access to the Chase Sapphire lounges. And so this gets you in and guests in for free, right? As many times as you'd like. This is a Chase Sapphire card. So, essentially it has access to the Chase Sapphire lounge. Now, the only thing that I need to talk about with this is that it doesn't give you access to the Maple Leaf lounges, whereas the Chase Sapphire Reserve does. However, you do have a little bit some other wide options as well. Now, one of the great things too about this card is that in addition to the Sapphire lounges, it gets you access to the Priority Pass lounge system as well. And this is actually, in my experience, a little bit better than Priority Pass options through Capital One or with American Express. And the reason why is because this one actually gets you access to not only the minute suites, so you go into kind of like essentially a workroom in the hotel, and this Priority Pass gives you your first hour for free and then a discounted rate for your second, third, fourth, however many hours you need to be in the room for. And so let's say that all the lounges are packed and you still really need some free time where maybe you have to do a video recording, or maybe you have to, get ready, get your presentation finalized. You just need to be separate from the world. This is a really great option. Another thing that the Chase Priority Pass gets you access to is the Express Spa. And so essentially these are places that are actually in the airport terminals where you go, you can get a little back rub, a shoulder massage. They also have some massage chairs. And essentially having the Priority Pass access gets you access to some of their services through Express Spa completely for free, which is kind of nice. So not only does this get you access to essentially a get out of jail free option where you can get a private room for essentially free for the first hour, you can also get a massage when you're waiting as well, which is really kind of incredible. So it's very nice. Now, it did used to have access to the Priority Pass restaurants, but that's not really a thing anymore. Well, for anybody, unless you're a Bank of America person. But so this is a really good option for lounges. Now, kind of the superpower here is with Priority Pass, you, in theory, have access to unlimited guests, which means that you're not limited by how many guests you can bring by the terms and conditions of this card. So now other ones say you can bring maybe one more guest or two more guests. This one doesn't have similar language. Now, it is possible that the people actually at the lounge location will actually kind of self-impose a limitation. So don't go bringing in your entire football team or baseball team thinking that you're going to be able to get in because, well, it's possible you can't. Now, in addition to those free guests, you also have unlimited access to free authorized users currently on this card. So this actually is nice because then they have their guests. So let's say that if you are traveling and, well, let's say your significant other is traveling. So if my wife is on a work trip and she wants to be able to access any of the lounges, she can't rely on me to be there to give her into that lounge. So she needs to have her own access. And well, once you sign up someone for an authorized user, you make a call, activate the priority pass, they send that card to you, and then boom, they have access to the Sapphire lounges and priority pass lounges. And well, it's kind of an insane deal because let's take a look at this annual fee. It's $450, and you know the $300 travel credit is very easy to use. So the effective annual fee then would be essentially $150, but for that $150, you're buying not only unlimited lounge access. Now the lounge access isn't as wide open as say the American Express Platinum card, but it's a really good network, right? And so you have access, so for the $150, you're buying access to the lounges and you're also buying that 85,000 point free night award, which honestly between those two things, I value a lot more than $150. So if you're someone who's looking to get positive value from a premium travel card that has really good travel protections, this is a good option. Now, one thing that we do need to consider too, I was reached out to by a viewer who was saying that they were having trouble getting access to the Gold Elite status with Marriott in the first year. Now, that's not something that I had. I was able to product change mine. I think it was in February or January. I'm not exactly sure when it was. I think it might have been in January. And so I was able to actually get elite status and the nights posted my account immediately. But I've heard from some sources that may not be the case. It's interesting though. Now, the thing is with this card is that this gives you Gold Elite status. And now it's important to note too that free night award essentially comes after you've held the card for a year. So that's good to know too. But if you get the card by getting the Boundless card, then that actually comes with a free night itself. So you actually get that free night and then you product change and then you get, the 85,000 point free night. So there is a way to make this make sense. Now, there's also really great kind of amounts of travel protections with this card as well. There's 4 free roadside assistance trips, and including towing or jumping or tire changing, which is really, really awesome. And in my experience, it's really been very fast. I really haven't had to wait very much. And so that's really nice. And then you also have kind of the standard, trip protections like, lost baggage insurance, trip delay insurance, things like that. So that's really nice as well. So now the news here was that this card was essentially being completely destroyed. Now the rumor here, and which has been verified to be false by Doctor of Credit, essentially said that the annual fee was going to increase to $695 and that it would get a $200 kind of credit to the Renowned Hotel Collection. And so this was kind of one of the things about the rumors that really didn't make sense to me because, well, the Renowned Hotel Collection includes hotels from all across, the world, right? And it doesn't have to be Marriott properties to be a part of this hotel collection. So it didn't really make sense for this to be kind of a benefit on a Marriott hotel card. And so that was kind of my big red flag, but it also said that you would get 3 Ritz-Carlton Bar Credits. And so, those seemed interesting because it seemed like it was an exchange out from the Ritz-Carlton Lounge credits, but not kind of quite the same. So this rumor was a little suspect from the beginning. But anyway, so for a while, for about a week, everyone thought the annual fee on this card was going to go up to $695, which, well, would severely change the math with this. Now, I do want to say I actually did have a whole video recorded before this news broke where I was breaking down kind of the new credits. And one of the things that, that I am going to kind of salvage from that video is the fact that having access on this card to a program like the renowned Hotel Collection, which gets you access to, early check-in, late checkout, it gets you access to space available room upgrades, it gets you access to that $100 property credit and free Wi-Fi. Now, that presents an interesting solution to a problem that kind of Marriott's been, creating in a certain sense. So with the Marriott program, with the Gold Elite status, with the Platinum Elite status, we're seeing where a lot of people are experiencing that hotels can just say, okay, if you're a Platinum Elite and you get free breakfast, I don't have to give that to you. And Marriott so far, during customer service interactions that's been reported on Reddit, appears to actually back up these hotel owners with this claim. And so, basically if you're someone who wants to hold a premium travel card, but also still feel really nice at hotels when you visit, Marriott's kind of become a place where that's not really an option. And so that's one of the problems with this system. It's one of the problems with this card. However, if by holding this card, you get access to a special hotel collection program that guarantees you on a super duper level, like a contractual relationship with Chase kind of level, then it gives you another option to get some of these benefits that you should be getting anyway. And it's kind of crazy to say this, but the only real way to guarantee that you have access to those benefits through a Marriott property is actually to use the American Express Platinum card, because that one gets you access to the hotel collection and fine hotels and resorts. And then if you prepay, you get 5 Amex points per dollar instead of the 6 Marriott points per dollar you get on the Marriott card. So not only is it possible that this one guarantees you more benefits at Marriott properties, it also kind of earns a little bit better, because I'd much rather get 5 points per dollar with American Express than 6 Marriott points per dollar. So having access to a special hotel program on this card could really kind of help boost it in an interesting way. And so while I am happy that the annual fee isn't going up, I'm kind of sad that the current state of the card doesn't include access to a hotel program like this. Because, when you're paying several $100s for a premium travel card, you expect to have access to, perks with that hotel, right? My Aspire card is $550, but that comes with a free night award that's uncapped as long as it's a standard room, $400 in resort credits, $200 in airfare credits, and that comes with Hilton Diamond status, which guarantees you lounge access internationally. It guarantees you free food and beverage credits. It gives you so much. And Marriott it can't do that. In fact, honestly, this card here gives you access to Hilton Gold and Marriott Gold. So essentially, this card actually gives you less hotel status than the American Express Platinum card, which currently is at $695, although it's theorized that it will increase to $895. So the news is good. Don't get me wrong. The news is good. I kind of was getting excited about having access to a special hotel program that could actually guarantee some of these benefits. So that's kind of where I'm at on this. But anyway, I will definitely continue to keep the Ritz-Carlton card. In fact, I'm actually about to use this access to the Chase Sapphire Lounge in Philadelphia, and I will be telling you how that is later. So anyway, thanks so much for joining me on this. I really appreciate you. If you did want an extra wallet, there's a link in the description below for 10% off, and that's 10% off of any other discount that's advertised. So that can be stackable, it sounds like, from my contacts with Exeter. If you want to get the Ritz-Carlton card, now there's no guarantees that this will still be in the exact same way a year from now, but if you want to get the Ritz-Carlton card, you need to get one of the Chase Marriott cards. I recommend the Boundless, because currently, as I'm recording this, it has that 5 free night award sign-up bonus, which means you get 5 free nights for holding the card. You get another 35,000 point free night award after you've held the card for a year. You product change to that after you have $10,000 in credit with Chase, and then you can get the Chase Ritz-Carlton card. So there's going to be a referral link in the description below for a Chase Marriott card too. So if you click that, I really appreciate it. But anyway, thanks so much for joining me, guys, and I can't wait to see you guys until next time. Bye.